Good morning, buenos dias, and welcome to the first Unitarian Universalist Church of San Antonio. My name is Emmanuel Garrido, and I've been part of this congregation, I don't know how long anymore, but 8 years or something like that. And I'm usually here with my 3 kids who are not here today. Is there an echo? Okay. I thought it was in my head. So, I have 3 kids that are usually here with me, Alex, Ben, and Maya. And let us begin by recognizing the early name of this place, Yanaguana, the traditional lands of the Coahuiltecan people. They and all the plants and animals were the original stewards of this land. Let us remember their care and live with the understanding that we belong to this place. If you're new to us or visiting for the first time today, we welcome you and invite you to fill out a visitor's card, either on paper or online. We'd like to get to know you and follow up with you. Wherever you are on your life's journey, we hope you will find your place with us. Now, this is a welcoming place, and we hope you will get to know people and let them know you. To support this process, please take a moment and turn to people around you and introduce yourself.
The brave, the courageous, the cold, welcome. In today's service, I hope to convey our intention to look outward and inward to a journey of oneness and wholeness. Let me explain. You see, Unitarian means oneness. And Universalist means wholeness. Oneness is integral, that is, filled with integrity, and we aspire to that. Wholeness also means healthy and well. So when we say all means all, we're describing a path and a practice of co-creating a community of integrity and wellness. Or to use another play on words, which I like to do, come unity. Now here's a question for us. Can we have some fun together this morning and lift our hearts? Can we say yeah, huh? I hope so. Let's rise in body or spirit and turn to number 360 in our gray hymnals and sing an old favorite. Hopefully it'll bring us some comfort. Jaime? Side by side, circle of kinship, come and step inside. May all who seek here find a kindly word. May all who speak here feel they have been heard. Feel us together, this our heart's own song. Life as a gathered, called to celebrate days of our lifetime, matters small and great. May of all ages, children, men, infants and sages, sharing what we can. Sing now together, this our heart's own song. Life has its battles, sorrows and regret, but in the shadows, let us not forget. We who now gather know each other's pain. Kindness can heal us as we give, we gain. Sing now in friendship, this our heart's own song. Thank you, and please be seated.
The flaming chalice unites our members in worship and symbolizes the spirit of our faith. In a fractured and divisive world, we light our chalice as a means to focus on oneness with one flame. Like the late Bob Marley sang to us, let's join as one heart. Let's get together and I mean, how else can you read that, right?
You're a choir leader.
We are called as Unitarian Universalists to build a beloved community where all are welcome as blessings. Let's recite our covenant that articulates our promises and binds us together. Please read together. Love is the doctrine of the church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other. El amor es la doctrina de esta iglesia. Su sacramento es la búsqueda de la verdad, y su oración es el servicio. Convivir en paz, buscar sabiduría en libertad, dar a la humanidad nuestro servicio fraternal, para que todas las almas crezcan en armonía con la divinidad. Así pactamos el uno con el otro.
Our violinist today, Carlos Gonzalez.
That's worth getting up for on a Sunday morning and coming to church, right? Hi. Thank you. It's time to share our joys and sorrows. And we got them. And so at this time, I invite us to enter into our hearts and minds in a very intentional way and come forward to light a candle and give a silent voice to all that you carry in your heart. We will light candles in the hope that their lights will lead us toward love, toward compassion, toward strength and courage to do what must be done in these days of divisiveness. So I invite you to please come down the side aisles to our stations and light a candle and return up the center aisle to your seats. Let's savor this moment of remembrance and intention while Jaime plays our meditation music. Thank you, Jaime. The book of joys and sorrows that you write into says, what a joy to gather together on a gray, wet, and cold day. Let us be warm for each other, kind to one another, and let us celebrate the love we share. Another one of our members writes, my dear mother-in-law is in the hospital getting an MRI to help figure out what's going on. Please send good thoughts, and I may add healing thoughts, her way. That's all you need to know. But thank you for doing that. Another member writes, thankful for our advances in modern medicine and for my wonderfully supportive church. After an unexpected surgery and a brief hospitalization, my husband, Kevin, is home and doing well. Our own Betty Bergner. Please let Betty know you are with her in spirit and love. I invite us to pray. Let prayer happen. Let me give you a little example. In this prayer, we are thankful for the mysteries of life. And we seek that all that is unforgiven in us be released. May we be made whole. And may all our fears yield to a sense of inner peace. Wouldn't that be nice? And may all that is waiting to be born in us grow into fullness. May it be so. Amen. Amen. Our wonderful storyteller, Mary Grace Kettner, will come forward now and share with us today's story.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Here you come. Ooh, it's cold today, huh? Oh, good. Oh, good. Thank you. Today, I want to tell you a story that comes from Indonesia. It's a story that reminds us that all things are connected. All things are connected. All things are connected.
All things? All things?
Back in the day when people and animals could talk to each other, there was a king who was the king of all things. And one night when he was going to bed, he heard outside his window, da-da, da-da, da-da. He went over to the window and he flew it up. He saw there, standing there was Gecko. Gecko, he said, what are you doing making noise outside my window? I'm trying to go to sleep. And Gecko said, well, so am I, but I can't because Firefly, she keeps blinking on, off, all night long, and it keeps me awake. And the king said, well, some things you just have to live with. And besides, what do you expect me to do about it? And Gecko said, well, you could talk to Firefly. And the king said, oh, all right, but not tonight. I'll do it in the morning. So the next morning, he was good to his word. He went out looking for Firefly, and he found her all nestled in the grass close to the ground. And he said, Firefly, I need to talk to you. You keep blinking on, off, all night long, and that keeps Gecko awake. And then he comes around complaining at my window at night, and I can't sleep either. I wish you would just stop it. And Firefly said, well, I could stop it, but there's a reason why I blink all night long. You see, water buffalo poops in the road, and I just like to shed a little light on the situation so people won't step in it. And the king said, well, I appreciate your civic-mindedness. You just keep right on doing what you were doing, and I'll talk to Gecko. So he went out looking for Gecko, but he couldn't find him because Gecko was down in the meadow doing his favorite thing, filling his belly with delicious mosquitoes. But that night, the king heard outside his window, da-dack, da-dack, da-dack. He went over to the window, he raised it up, he said, Gecko, I was looking for you. I wanted to tell you I did talk to Firefly, and she said there's a reason why she blinks on off all night, and that is to keep people from stepping in the poop that water buffalo leaves in the road. And I told her to just go right ahead, and you know, some things you just have to live with. And what are you expecting me to do about it anyway? And Gecko said, well, you could talk to water buffalo. And the king said, oh, all right, I'll talk to water buffalo, but I'll do it in the morning. And he slammed the window shut and went back to bed. But the next morning, he was good to his word. He went out looking for water buffalo, and he found him in the shade of a tree. And he went up to him. He said, water buffalo, I need to talk to you. I wish you wouldn't poop in the road because, you see, people step in it, and Firefly wants to help them when they're walking at night and has to blink on, off, all night long. And then Gecko can't sleep, and he comes around complaining to me. So I wish you would just stop it. And water buffalo said, well, I could stop it, but there's a reason why I poop in the road. You see, rain rains big holes in the road and fills them with rain, and then the farmers can't drive their carts to market. And the king said, oh, I appreciate your civic-mindedness. Just keep on doing what you're doing, and I'll talk to Gecko. So he went looking for Gecko to tell him, but he couldn't find him because Gecko was down in the meadow doing his favorite thing, filling his belly with delicious mosquitoes. So that night, when the king started going to bed, he heard outside his window, what do you think he heard? Da-dack, da-dack, da-dack. And he went to the window, he opened it up, and there was Gecko. He said, Gecko, I was looking for you. I wanted to tell you I did talk to water buffalo, and he said he poops in the road for a reason, and that is so the farmers can drive their carts over a nice level road and get to market. And I think, you know, some things you just have to live with. So I don't think I could do anything about it anyway. And Gecko said, well, you could talk to rain. Oh, all right, said the king, but not tonight. I'll do it in the morning.
But he can talk to rain? That's impossible.
Well, this king did it. In fact, he went out the next morning. He was looking for rain, and he found her all curled up in a little cloud.
What?
He said, Rain, I need to talk to you. You have just got to stop pounding holes and filling them with the water in the road because water buffalo poops in to fill the road, and people can't walk on the poop, and Firefly has to blink, and I just wish you would stop it. And Rain said, well, I could stop it, but there's a reason why rain puddles in the road, because if I didn't, Mama Mosquito wouldn't have any place to lay her eggs, and there wouldn't be any more mosquitoes. Well, for a moment, the king thought that sounded like a good idea, but then he remembered he was the king of all things, and so he said, oh, all right, I appreciate your public spirit. Just keep right on doing it, and I'll talk to Gecko. And he went out looking for Gecko, but he couldn't find him because
he was doing his thing in the meadow. He was doing his favorite thing by eating mosquitoes.
Yes, that's
Yum, yum.
so. That night, though, when the king went to bed, he heard outside his window, da-dack, da-dack, da-dack. He went over and he opened the window. He said, Gecko, what are you doing here? I was looking for you all day, and I couldn't find you because I wanted to tell you that the reason rain rains those holes in the roads is so Mama Mosquito would have a place to lay her eggs, because if she didn't, there wouldn't be any more mosquitoes. And Gecko said, no more mosquitoes? Oh, well, some things you just have to live with.
Yeah.
Because in a moment of enlightened self-interest, Gecko recognized that all things are connected. All things are connected. All things are connected. Yeah. So, thank you for listening to the story, and you're welcome to go out to the playground, or you can go back and sit with your folks and stay here for the rest of the day.
That Mary Grace can sure tell a story. It's time for our invitation to generosity. Today's offering will be shared with Planned Parenthood South Texas. And we're very fortunate to have with us today Laura Terrell, who serves as CEO. Would you come forward, Laura, and share a few words with us before we pass the baskets and request our viewers to make contributions? Would you share with us, I know you must be going through an awful lot. So, how are you?
Lovely to see you.
All right, good to see you. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me and the long-held partnership that your church and Planned Parenthood South Texas has enjoyed since 1980. We share a similar set of values, that all people should be treated with dignity and respect, that their healthcare needs should be met regardless of where they live, regardless of who they love, regardless of how much money they make, regardless of immigration status. You all have helped countless patients, and the headwinds are strong, as we know. As the Reverend talked about, the divisiveness in this country is palatable around every corner. You all are the antidote to that divisiveness. The community that you create here, the community that you carry outside of this building and into your everyday lives to inspire people, to give them hope, to give me hope. To quote Bob Marley, I mean, come on, we are home, y'all. I'm sincerely grateful to each and every one of you, to your community for caring for our community. At Planned Parenthood South Texas, our staff gets up every single day to provide high-quality, non-judgmental, timely health care to folks who need it. Everything from STI detection and screening to gender-affirming hormone therapy, primary care, menopausal care, fertility care. We're helping folks have babies, which is so exciting and righteous. And they do that no matter what. And I'm sorry that they have to be so resilient, but it's the most resilient group of folks you've ever met. And I'm absolutely thrilled to get to work with them every day. I'm gonna borrow from late actor Chadwick Boseman to say that an offering from a sage, a king, a queen, and trans and non-binary royalty is a seed of hope and a bud of faith. And everything that you do every day to inspire community and trust and love makes us all connected. And our community would not be the same if not for your care and compassion. Thank you for having me. Thank you for loving and welcoming me into your space. And thank you for being my connection to our community.
And thank you, Laura, for all you are and all you do.
Thank you. Thank you. And I would be remiss if I did not give special recognition to Dr. Janet Rellini. I can't roll the R like I'm supposed to. Yeah. Thank you for sponsoring us. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for all the work that you do. Okay. Thank you.
We appreciate you making out your checks, credit card payments to First UU Church so that we may pass them through us and give a nice big fat check to Planned Parenthood South Texas. All your contributions are tax exempt, and all of today's offerings will be given to Planned Parenthood South Texas. And now I invite some very special music while our ushers bring the baskets to pass to you. And while you do your thing online, please go to our website to make a contribution while we enjoy this special music from a couple, Amelia and William Westney.
Happy. Make just one someone happy. Make just one heart the heart you sing to. One smile that cheers you. One face that lights when it nears you. One man you're to fame. If you win it, comes and goes in a minute. Where's the real stuff in life to cling to? Love is the answer. Someone to love is the answer. Once you found him, build your world around him. Make someone happy. comes and goes in a minute. Where's the real stuff in life to cling to? Love is the answer. Someone to love is the answer. Once you found him, build your world around him. Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. And you will be happy too.
Oh, my goddess. We bless these gifts and all the givers. May it be so. The word religion strikes fear in many people's hearts. It has its roots in the Latin religere, defined as to bind together or to reconnect. Yet how many of us have a problem with religion? Many have rejected religion, especially the religion of their parents, because religion can be narrow, exclusive, bigoted, and filled with prejudice, right? Too often, religion means belonging to a church or professing certain beliefs, but I'm here to tell you that the religious instinct is much broader than that. It involves a sense of wonder and awe and can make us more available to greater depths of compassion, unity, kindness, and love. Now, perhaps some of us would rather refer to these qualities as spiritual, such as the modern day saying, "I'm spiritual, not religious." Some of us resemble that remark, huh? Of course, around a church like ours with strong rationalist and humanist roots, spirituality can be looked down upon as so much magical or supernatural thinking. So let me suggest it might help us to be less judgmental and consider spirituality as a personal journey, while religion is more like an organizational roadmap. Now, we're born into the senses of wonder and awe. They come easily in childhood. The feeling of watching dust motes dancing in the sunlight, or climbing a tree to touch the sky, or falling asleep thinking about the stars and the moon. If we're safe enough and nurtured in our capacity to wonder, we can start to wonder about people in our lives too. Their thoughts and experiences, their pain and joy, their wants and needs. And we begin to sense that they are in themselves as vast and as complex as we are in this inner world that's as infinite as the outer world. We begin to see others as equals. All the time we're gaining information about how to love and appreciate and even serve them. Wonder is the wellspring for all means all. Now there's a call to compassion beyond our own flesh and blood, and it's ancient. It echoes down to us through the lips of indigenous leaders, spiritual teachers, social reformers through the centuries. The founders and principles of all the world religions call us to see no stranger in the other, to practice unending compassion, to open our tent to all, to love our neighbors, as well as to love without limit. These all expanded the circle of care and concern to include all. And these teachings of theirs were rooted in the linguistic, cultural, and spiritual contexts of their time. And they spoke of a common vision of our interconnectedness and interdependence. Now, what came to us as an ancient spiritual truth is now increasingly verified by science. We are all indivisibly part of one another. We share a common ancestry with everyone and everything alive on Earth. The air we breathe contains atoms that have passed through the lungs of ancestors who came before us. Our bodies are composed of the same elements created in the deep furnaces of long-dead stars. We can look upon the face of anyone or anything around us and say as a moral declaration, a spiritual, cosmological, and biological fact, you are a part of me that I do not yet know. So you don't have to be spiritual or religious in order to be open to wonder. You only have to retain a scintilla of what you once knew as a child. If you can remember in your body, in your bones, how it is to wonder, then you already have what you need to learn how to live a more expanded life beyond your own ego and illusion of separateness. What if we identified more with our connection to the universe and this marvelous planet and looked beyond our small self and its preoccupations and looked to the myriad life forms, impossibly small, expansively large? This includes you and me and all sentient beings. This is what's meant by our Sunday words of welcome when we say that our faith is all-inclusive and all means all. Now, we know that humans naturally incline toward the known. We have historically gathered in tribes, which can uplift us, order our lives, and give them meaning and purpose, direction, and a lot of pride. But the tribal instinct can be perilous. The more closely we identify with our tribe, the more likely we are to dismiss and even feel hostility toward those outside of it. I can't say enough about the tribal mentality that's going on in Gaza. Here at First UU Church, our calling is toward an expansiveness and an inclusion, a welcoming, a curiosity. For when we are no longer curious, we don't even try to imagine or understand what another person is thinking or feeling or caring. And when that happens, our hearts begin to narrow, and we become less compassionate and more entrenched in our own worldviews. And folks, that's not our aim here. Especially in today's culture of divisiveness and xenophobia and outright meanness, we desperately need rewiring to grow into more openness, curiosity, compassion, and I propose that these can be a significant part of our community culture here. Imagine a community with such a profound sense of belonging, in which we learn to see one another in our pain and their pain, our joy and their joy, in which we're curious enough to ask one another, what's going on? Really, what's happening with you? How are you? Imagine the kind of dynamic relationship in which we hear one another's story and say, I understand, and even care enough to collaborate with another in their healing. Today's message of when we say all means all calls us to a sincere, tender, and fully present engagement in mutual encounters that help us forge new spiritual and neural pathways by reminding us that our lives and our destinies are intertwined. Because ultimately, it's only by finding our way to one another and with one another that we begin to heal. May it be so. Thank you for listening. Let us join in singing number 1007, and that would be in our teal hymnal. And rise in body or spirit, there's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. Let it go into your bones. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing in my mind, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing. There's a river. All right, whatever. We're going to go on from here. Thank you. Have a seat for a second. I got something to share with you. As we leave this place today, let's remember to stop by the ribbon cutting on the patio. We have just installed a very powerful Wi-Fi system. It goes throughout our campus and all our buildings. It's even in the courtyard and in the patio. And some of you may have noticed who've been on your phone lately or your device. This is going to help us so much with safety and security and communication. We can actually hold classes and events and stuff just about anywhere in a moment's notice with this good Wi-Fi. So we're so grateful to Reverend Nell for overseeing the installation of this. We only had the request about 3 years ago to do it, and we finally got the money put together through our capital campaign, and this is a breakthrough. So join with us for a moment as we cut a ribbon on the patio after the service. And then after that is a board listening and learning session in the fellowship hall, where it should be cozy and warm, and there are snacks in the fellowship hall lounge. So let me twist your arm. Also, social justice is meeting today, so there are things to do on our busy campus. So when we say all means all, we can read from the generous menu of what love means. I mean, there are so many definitions and experiences of love. And among these, love, it suffers from an embarrassment of meaning. But as we go from here, let us go in love. Let us go in kindness. Let us go in peace. And let's learn for ourselves what all means to you. And have some fun doing so. May it be so. Thank you. Give yourself a hand.